What's up, Boogie Lights fans? Taylor here. Today we're going to be taking a look at this 2015 Tiffin Zephyr. This is a 40-foot diesel pusher with a grand 111 feet of Boogie Lights. Now this entire rig is operated by two of our dual zone controllers, which means you only have two remotes to operate the whole thing. His underglow being on one remote, and then his slide outs being on another remote. Now the cool thing about the dual zone controller is it gives him the ability to turn off that driver's when you're ever in close quarters at the campground. And then for the slides as well, you can either operate just the awnings, or you can operate just the slide outs, or you can operate them both together. Now, if we start at the front here, all of the underglow is mounted to an aluminum flat stock first. We highly recommend doing it. It makes the install much faster and a lot easier and smoother. You want to put these lights on a nice, flat, smooth surface when you mount them. So the front has a 7-foot piece of aluminum and then a 7-foot LED strip running across the front as well. Between the wheel wells, there's 18 feet of Boogie Lights. Our strips come in 16-foot sizes, so you have to do a 16-foot and then a 2-foot. You can put both of those connectors butting up against each other, and then you run the cable together to where your controller module is for underglow. Our controller module is in his front left bay over there. For the slide outs, when you mount, you'll do your regular prep, you'll wipe it down with alcohol, and then you'll do the 3M promoter, and then you'll stick your lights up there, and then you will run the cabling down the sides and in through the actual slide itself. Now on this one, he wanted to get both of these slides down onto one controller. So there's two ways that you can wire a slide. You can either self-contain it, which means you can either run the power to each individual slide, and then you would have a single remote for each one of these slides. But we wanted to get both of the slides onto one controller to eliminate having three controllers. So what you do in that case is the goal is to get both of the wires from the slides down to the floor, and then you want to meet them in one central location where you can set up your dual zone controller. And so for this instance, on these Tiffin Zephyrs, a lot of them are the same. We run the power leads in through the side of the slide itself, and then we'll actually put a little bit of Lexel over that hole to keep it water protected, and you can either use any type of sealant really to do that. So then once you run the wire in, there is his half bath is right here. So we actually followed a lot of the existing wiring that's there. You just got to pull out some cabinetry, and then you'll see all the existing wiring. We ran it into the half bath here, and then in these bathrooms they have a stationary pipe that runs down to the floor. That's the key. That's where you want to find that piping, and you'll be able to run your wiring down next to that. It's gonna be hard to tell, but all you can see is piping right there. And so we actually ran a fish wire up through there, and it came out right underneath in the bathroom there. So we tied our lights to that, pulled them down, and then that wire right there in the rear runs down through the floor, and it runs along the frame to the rear of the coach where we have our second dual zone controller. And then it's the same exact setup for the rear slide here. We went in through the side, and then he's got his master bath here in the back. So we ran the wire forward, and then we ran it into the main bath here, and then he's got his plumbing that runs down to the floor, so we were able to get a fish wire down as well for that one. And it ended up coming out right here at the top of this bay. So we ran both of our wires down, comes across, and then that is our dual zone controller. The zone 1 being on the top there, that's his awnings, and zone 2, his slide outs on the bottom half of it there. Now all of this is run on 12 volt, that way he doesn't have to be on shore power, and he can have his lights on whenever he wants. And both of these controllers are operated by either the remote control or Bluetooth as well. Now the rear of the rig, we have his engine bay. He's got 7 feet of LEDs in the engine bay alone. This has been a really popular option lately, and it's a very cool effect. It's super easy to put up. All it is a 90-degree piece of aluminum mounted up behind the fiberglass there using some screws to hold it in place, and then just an LEDs that shine down. And then his rock guard is lit up as well, which is also tied into his brake, tail, and turn of the RV itself. That way he can be seen by cars behind him. So that way, it's just some single color red LEDs on there that will illuminate either for the left, the right turn signal, the brake, and the running lights. Everything that you see here was done in-house in Florence, Kentucky at Boogey Lights. Give us a call and get lit up today.